This video is for the benefit of the tens of thousands of people in Massachusetts who are going to vote for Martha Coakley in the special election on January 19th only because she's a D next to her name. Okay? Not enough people pay enough attention to understand the issues about this election. It's been a hotly contested political race, but this election is all about economics. Okay, I'm a registered independent. This is not about Democrat or Republican. This is about what stays in your wallet. Okay, now people have talked about the issues, healthcare, cap and trade, but most people don't understand what it means to them and how it's going to affect them personally. You look at healthcare. Okay, now when people talk about healthcare is they think we just have to make sure everyone has coverage, but no one stops to think about how it's going to impact them. Okay, when you look at what's being proposed right now, they're talking about taxing the amount of money your employer currently contributes to pay for your health insurance. So if you're a person who, say, pays $400 a month for your portion of the premium, that means your employer is probably paying $1,600 if you have an 80-20 split. Okay, over the course of a year, your employer is going to pay $19,200 for your health insurance. Okay, with the current legislation being proposed now, you're going to be facing a 40% tax, or $7,680 in tax. Okay, so I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, where am I getting $7,680 that I'm not currently being taxed on? Okay. Now, if the health insurance becomes too prohibitively expensive for employers to offer it, okay, they're probably going to be forced to kick you to the public option. Now the news really gets bad, okay, because the way the public option is currently described in the plan in the House right now, it has three separate components. It has your personal premium, it has the government subsidy, then it has your contribution to the general pool. Okay, so the way this bill is currently structured, a family who's making $102,000 is going to pay $5,500 for their portion of the premium. They will receive no government subsidy, and they'll pay $15,000 for the general contribution. $20,500. That's before you've paid one nickel in taxes or bought one loaf of bread. So explain to me, if you're planning on voting for Martha Coakley, where are you getting that $20,500? Okay, so people talk about cap and trade like it's some abstract concept. Okay, but what most people don't realize is what happens when you actually implement this thing. Okay, Spain is a great example. So there was a study done by a professor, Gabriel Calzado, who did a study from 2000 to 2008, and he detailed what actually has happened in Spain, who poured an ungodly amount of money into creating this renewable energy. Okay, for every 4 green jobs that they created, it killed 9 conventional jobs. They have spent 571,000 euros for every single new green job created. That's $850,000 US, by the way. But ironically, only 1 in 10 of those green jobs were actually being put toward making the energy itself. Okay, a couple of horrific consequences have come out of this. Number one, these renewable energy sources, solar, wind, etc., are producing less energy. That's also more expensive. So their energy costs have gone up 31%. There's less available energy for manufacturers to produce their goods. So their GDP is down. Their unemployment is up to 20%, double that of the EU. Okay? And over the 2000 to 2008 period of time, the amount of money Spain has spent over what it would have cost to produce conventional energy has been 7.9 billion euros, or $10 billion US, just to have higher unemployment, and lower GDP. That is what will happen in the United States if you vote for Martha Coakley, because Martha Coakley will support cap and trade legislation currently co-authored by Ed Markey, who's a Mass State Rep, Congressman. You know, amnesty for illegal immigrants, a topic that's barely getting visibility because healthcare has been so hot. There are approximately 12 million illegal immigrants in the United States. Okay? President Obama would want to just give blanket absolution for all of these folks and just give them all green cards as permanent residents. In my business, I have a lot of familiarity with the legal costs associated with doing all the paperwork to produce this kind of documentation, this kind of status. It could run as high as $15,000 per case. So if the taxpayers are just going to fund this blanket conversion of all these illegal immigrants to become permanent residents, at those dollars, you're talking about a taxpayer cost of $180 billion just to create this new population of permanently Democratic voters. Okay, if you vote for Martha Coakley, she is going to support this kind of legislation. She has shown a positively craven abeyance to the liberal agenda and demonstrated absolutely Faustian indifference to the voters. She doesn't care what you think. She just expects your vote. And sadly, many of you are going to get in line and just vote Democrat because that's what you've always done. But if you send Martha Coakley to Washington, and if, or actually I shouldn't say if, and when your tax bills go through the roof and your cost of health care goes through the roof, okay, blame the person in the mirror if you vote for Martha Coakley, because that's where the blame lies. This isn't about Democrat and Republican. This isn't about politics. This is about economics. Okay? So educate yourself on the facts. Okay? Don't be a lemming. Don't vote for Martha Coakley just because you're a Democrat, because we'll all pay for it.